Bienvenidos, damas y caballeros, to a Spanish language lab, or, as I like to say, my minimum security prison cell. So, in this video series, we're reading through a book called Tokio ya no nos quiere. Tokyo doesn't love us anymore. Written by Ray Loriga, who is a Spanish author. Um, And unlike Fight Club, I've never read this book before, but there's a lot of similarities with this book, with Fight Club. So there's an unnamed, unreliable narrator that's common in both books. They both criticize consumer culture. They both speak about the topic of identity, and what exactly, who exactly are you, and what actually goes into making your identity. In this book, our main character works for a shadowy corporation that sells something called a forgetting pill. So if you have some past trauma or regret and inconvenient truth you know about that you would like to just completely forget, you pop that pill and poof, that memory goes away forever. Which sounds, on the surface, sounds pretty good. I think we all have some childhood trauma we'd prefer to get rid of. However, the consequences with that choice is who you are today is a sum total of the experiences you've had in the past. And so if you completely erase that from your memory, might that negatively affect who you are today, right? So that's the premise of the book. And where we are plot wise, our hero, or anti, probably more likely an anti-hero, has been called down to Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. He does not want to go down there, but he's been called down there because the other company man disappeared with his suitcase full of a year's supply of this forgetting drug, which is interesting. He just disappeared. Poof. Um, and so our main character hops on a plane, and he makes these. Before we jump into the text itself, I just want to point something out. So he makes these observations. Um, Throughout the book, he's been seen. So throughout the book, he speaks to us in the second person. He speaks to us, the reader, much in the same way that Fight Club's narrator speaks to us in the second person. And he mentions how, like, oh, I've seen your mother. Like, that's the way he writes it. Like, he says it. He visto a tu madre. I've seen your mother. And he's seen his mother at the hotel winning a bunch of money while gambling. He's seen his mother at the pool. And most recently, he's seen his mother. So he was in Phoenix, Arizona. He's at a plane. He's flying over Mexico because he's hanging out in Brazil. And then he's just talking about how, oh, I saw your mother. I saw your mother jump in the back of a pickup truck filled with a bunch of drunk Mexicans down Tijuana as the plane was, building altitude. And then he writes, parece que la buena mujer sigue ganando. Your mom just keeps winning. And now this really put the nail in the coffin in terms of suspicions for me. I This guy has to be just losing it. He has to be hallucinating. Um, how is it that he's just seeing your mother, not my mom. I know where my mom is, but your mother. How is it that the main character sees this person who he's addressing, mother, just in random spots around the world wherever he happens to be? He's hallucinating. He's got to be hallucinating, right? And so he's losing it. So every once in a while he says something where I think to myself, yeah, this guy's losing touch of reality, which is my favorite kind of novel. Anything else? He fell asleep watching the TV once and then he just had a dream or recalls watching a movie about a man crying because someone assassinated his daughter. And as I read through that, I'm thinking, I think he's projecting. I think this man is projecting. I think his, dirty corporate work got his family in a bit of trouble. So I think this guy's actually lived quite a bit of a wild life, and he's made a comment earlier before about how he was just hanging out in Sedona, red Martian rock Sedona, in a cafe with colorful ice cream. Very pleasant. Very, I could just hear the light, like the light, playful music playing in the background in my head. And he said something like, "Oh, there's nothing to forget yet." He's ready. He's ready to pop that pill. Anything wants to fuck with my tranquility? No. All right, all right, all right. Fine. I'll put the pill away for now. He kind of speaks like a drug addict. And so, yeah, yeah. This is the picture where the author is beginning to paint regarding our unnamed, unreliable narrator. So let's get into the text. All right, so here we are. This is where we left off in the last video. So right before this section, you see here, he's, like I mentioned a second ago, por supuesto a llegar a Tijuana, he visto a tu madre subida en la trasera de una camioneta rodeada de barceros mexicanos, todos borrachos, todos cantando, todos alegres. So, and then your mom just keeps winning right here, last sentence. Parece que la buena mujer sigue ganando. She's just collecting those W's. Oh, by the way, so I don't know, I don't remember what video this was, but I did mention this is a bit of an odd way to spell Mexicanos with a J-I opposed to X-I, as you see here in the pop-up. So I thought to myself, is that like a translation error? Well, this is a book from Spain. It's written by a Spanish author. And so in Spanish, the X is pronounced differently. Sometimes it's a he. It makes a he sound, like in the word mexicanos. Sometimes it is makes an X sound in English, like Alex, like my name, Alex. It's so it will vary, and I'm sure you know, if you're following along with this level of text, I'm sure you know that different cultures, different countries use the Spanish language differently, different accents, different vocabulary, different expressions, different yeah, it's just different use of the language. And so this actually doesn't surprise me now to see that Mexicanos is spelled with a J instead of an X, because this is a European text. It's not a Latino text. So a little note on that. Having said that, let me get a sip of coffee and we'll get to reading. Delicioso. All right, let's get to it. Gran éxito comercial. Éxito meaning success. Gran éxito comercial. Aquí hay un grupo de alemanes que se están hinchando a construir hoteles, todos muy sólidos y serios, muy bauas, bauas, no idea, ba, uh, Weimar, Germany. Okay, this is like a reference. Artes, artesanial, artes, artesanía. I didn't see that A. Artesanía y arte fundada en 1919 por Walter. Okay, I don't know. It's some obscure reference. Let's keep going. Alemanes. Oh, Germans. Wait, he's in Germany? No, it's a group of Germans. Wait a minute, where are we? Hold on, let me peek through, buddy. Baseball. Are we in Rio? It's a short section. All right, let's just keep reading. I'm gonna start from the beginning, and it's a big paragraph. All right, let's keep going. Gran éxito comercial. Aquí hay grupo de alemanes que se están hinchando a construir hoteles, todos muy sólidos y serios, muy bauaus. Así que a olvidar, señores, cada uno lo suyo, como siempre. Franz quería olvidar un amor y Otto quería olvidar una promesa hecha a la ligera. Los alemanes son malísimos, guardando secretos. Lo cuentan todo, sea lo que sea. Después de 3 cervezas, pobre Otto, los ojos fijos en los zapatos, unos zapatos absurdos, además, rojos y blancos como zapatos de golf, pero sin pinchos. Otto debería olvidarse primero de esos zapatos. Me preguntan muy preocupados si es química fiable. Y yo les respondo que es la única química fiable. Lo dicen porque al parecer un amigo de un amigo en la vieja Europa olvidó el nombre de su perro mientras trataba de olvidar una cancioncilla que se le había pegado a la cabeza y que no podía dejar de ta- tara- huh? Tararea. Kind of sounds like homework. Hum. Tararea. It means hum. Okay, that's a new word. Muy divertido, sí, señor, pero no se preocupen. Esto es tan seguro como matar a un canario con un bate de béisbol. Así que unas cuantas cervezas más y los 10 alemanes se pierden en la noche de Tijuana, dispuesto a seguir bailando y olvidando y mañana, por supuesto, más hoteles. Gran éxito. Yeah, I'm gonna read this one more time. I don't know what happened. And if I don't know, it's a miracle you're still fucking watching. All right, let's keep going. Gran éxito comercial. Super big commercial success, right? Let's just start there. Sanity check, right? Great. Yeah, excellent. Excelente. Excelente. Aquí hay un grupo de alemanes que se están hinchando a construir hoteles. Bruising themselves, swelling. Todos muy sólidos y serios. Oh, serious, industrious Germans. Así que a olvidar, señores. And therefore, forget the misters. Forget it, gentlemen. I don't know. Forget what, though. Cada uno lo suyo. To each their own. That's cool. I'll use that one. Cada uno lo suyo. To each their own. Each one his own. Cada uno lo suyo. Cada uno lo suyo. Como siempre. Like always. Franz. That's a name. Franz. Franz Fernandar. Yeah. Franz quiere olvidar un amor. Y Otto quería olvidar una promesa hecha a la ligera. 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 Light. A light promise? Otto wanted to forget a promise made lightly. Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. These are German names, buddy. Franz, yeah. Otto, yeah. Okay, so the Germans aren't that serious? Or they are serious, but they also have issues? What are you trying to say here, huh? Los alemanes son malísimos guardando secretos. Ooh, they're bad? They're terrible at hiding secrets. Lo, lo cuentan todo. Sea lo que sea, después de 3. Well, I mean, come on, dude. Is that just unique to Germans? You get a few beers in them and they spill the beans. That's like people in general, no? But I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe there's something to it. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Señor Ray Loriga. All right. Unos zapatos absurdos, además, rojos y blancos, como zapatos de golf, pero sin pinchos. Otto debería olvidarse primero de esos zapatos. Oh, we got a comedian. We have a comedian in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Otto should forget about those shoes first. Okay, at least I can tell humor in Spanish. Me preguntan muy preocupado si es química fiable. Fiable. Relatable. Y yo les respondo que es la única química fiable. If it's a reliable drug, they asked me very worried if it is a reliable chemistry, and I answered that it is the only reliable chemistry. Lo dicen porque al parecer un amigo de un amigo en la vieja Europa olvidó el nombre de su perro mientras trataba de olvidar una cancionía que se le había pegado a la cabeza y que no podía dejar de tara- tararear ni a sol ni a sombra. Oh. We just found out something very interesting here, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't the only drug on the market. They say this because apparently a friend of a friend in old Europe forgot his dog's name while trying to forget a ditty, a ditty. I'll leave that one alone. Forget a ditty that had stuck to his head and that he could not stop humming in the sun or in the shade. Oh. See, I didn't pick up any of this during my first read through, but hey, this is not my first language. And so we are breaking this down bit by bit. That's what we do here on the channel, ladies and gentlemen. We take our sweet ass time making our way through chapter one. We're 6% of the way through with 58 minutes left. But honestly, what's the rush? The point here is to learn. Muy divertido, sí, señor, pero no se preocupen. Esto es tan seguro como matar a un canario con un bate de béisbol. Así que unas cuantas cervezas más y los 10 alemanes se pierden en la noche de Tijuana dispuesto a seguir bailando y olvidando y mañana, por supuesto. Okay, I lost it. Very fun. Muy divertido. Sí, señor. Pero no se preocupen. Yes, a lot of fun, but don't worry. Esto es tan seguro como matar a. It's quite the analogy. Esto es tan seguro como matar a un canario con un bate de béisbol. That's a weird ass analogy. This is it's a sure thing, like killing a bird, a canary with a baseball. Very funny, yes, sir, but don't worry. This is the same as killing a canary with a baseball bat. That's not relatable to me, but that's fine. Así que unas cuantas cervezas más y los 10 alemanes se pierden en la noche de Tijuana, dispuestos a seguir bailando y olvidando a mañana, por supuesto, más hoteles. Wait, so you are in Tijuana? So a few more beers and the 10 Germans get lost in the Tijuana night, ready to continue dancing and forgetting, and tomorrow, of course, more hotels. Bro, I don't know. That's the hallucination right there. Hallucination. There are Germans building hotels in Tijuana? Is that a thing? That's not a thing. Is that a thing? So he flew into Tijuana. I must have read this wrong. I thought he was going down to Rio de Janeiro. Maybe I'm the unreliable narrator, ladies and gentlemen. Hmm. Felicitaciones de la compañía por un negocio asombroso, asombrosamente rápido y asombrosamente limpio. Ooh, I like that sentence. Felt good to say. Congratulations from the company on an amazingly fast, and amazingly clean business. Bonificación y tu nombre, mi nombre, ya está sonando para algo más grande. Coordinador, control de suministros, cualquier cosa. Ahora bien, no hay que olvidar mi expediente. No, señor, ni mucho menos. Y mi expediente dice que las puertas de los despachos más hermosos están cerradas para mí, porque la compañía nunca, y eso que quiere decir nunca, olvida, lo cual no deja de ser curioso, teniendo en cuenta que borrar recuerdos es precisamente nuestro negocio en cualquier cosa. Y por el momento, felicitaciones, bonificaciones y buenas noches. Yep, reading that again. Okay. Felicitaciones de la compañía por un negocio asombroso. This sounds like shade to me, but it doesn't mean shade. Amazing. Asombroso. You know, I'm going to go ahead and look this word up in the Spanish dictionary. That to me sounds like very shady. Like sombra. Oh, sombra. Maybe the A makes all the difference. Let's find out. Gonna look it up. Asombroso. Amazing. Astonishing. If I give it an A. Sombroso. Shady. Okay. Yes. Sombroso means shady. But if you put an A in front of it, it means amazing. Asombroso. Okay, great. Asombroso, asombrosamente rápido y asombrosamente limpio. Bonificación a tu nombre, mi nombre, y está sonando para algo más grande. Y está, ya está, ya está. Bonificación y tu nombre, mi nombre, ya está sonando para algo más grande. Coordinador, control de suministros, cualquier cosa. Bonus in your name. My name is already ringing for something bigger. Coordinator, supply control, anything. You know, I don't think he has I don't think he's working for anyone. I think I'm just hyper suspicious of this guy. I think he's just a drug dealer. I think he just makes the chemistry himself, the drug himself, and he just goes around and he just travels around selling it. He's just a really good salesman. Ahora bien, no hay que olvidar mi expediente. What does expediente mean? Doser? Dossier? Okay. Like a little dropper? I don't know. Let's see with context. Now we must not forget my life. File. File. Mm, okay. No, señor, ni mucho menos. Y mi expediente dice que las puertas de los despachos más hermosos están cerradas para mí, porque la compañía nunca, y eso quiere decir nunca, olvida, lo cual no deja de ser curioso, teniendo en cuenta que borrar recuerdos es precisamente nuestro negocio. En cualquier cosa y por el momento, felicitaciones, bonificaciones y buenas noches. Señor, que estoy jugando al póker. Nunca he jugado al póker, así que por supuesto pierdo. I gotta slow the fuck down, dude. Like what happened here? No, señor, ni mucho menos. Y mi expediente dice que las puertas de los despachos más hermosos están cerradas para mí porque la compañía nunca, y eso quiere decir nunca, olvida. Who the fuck is he talking to? No, sir, far from it. And my record says that the doors of the most beautiful offices are closed to me because the company never, and that means never forgets. Okay, so he screwed up before. Lo cual no deja de ser curioso, tenido en cuenta que borrar recuerdos es precisamente nuestro negocio. En cualquier cosa y por el momento, felicitaciones, bonificaciones y buenas noches. Which is curious considering that erasing memories is precisely our business. In any case, and for the moment, oh, yeah, there's irony. Well, yeah, you don't get high in your own supply, my friend. I remember I once told a friend, I was like, you know who you remind me of? You remind me of like a cigarette salesman who'll go around like, oh yeah, he's the best cigarettes. He'll sell you a pair of cigarettes. And then you offer him a cigarette and he's like, what? No, I don't put that shit in my body. Like, that's for you, you dumbass. That's what this reminds me of. The company is like, yeah, no, we don't forget jack shit. But our customers, they can, oh, dude, they can forget everything. We don't care. Just pay us. Yeah, that's a drug company, buddy. That's a drug company. All right, so let's keep going. Sueño que estoy jugando al poker. He's dreaming that he's playing poker. Nunca he jugado al poker, así que por supuesto pierdo. He's never played poker before, therefore, of course, he loses. Tu madre consigue colar una pelota de baloncesto en la ruleta y acierta al mismo tiempo todos los números. Yeah, dude, he also like hallucinated like banging this person's mom. Your mother manages to sneak a baseball into the roulette wheel and matches all the numbers at the same time. Basketball, bro. You see what I'm? Okay, so I mean, it's pretty like nail in the coffin, right? Your mother manages to sneak a basketball, baloncesto, that's what that means, basketball into the roulette wheel and matches all the numbers at the same time. Okay. I rest my case, Your Honor. He is an unreliable narrator. Oh no, he's sleeping. Oh god damn it. He's sleep. Oh god damn it. He's sleeping. He's sleep. You know what? Fucking the main character from Fight Club was sleeping. He was asleep like half the novel. Whenever he was telling Durden, he was sleeping. Okay, you know what? Hang in there with me, buddy. I need to do some research. Um, I'm gonna ask chat. So let's see. Was author Ray Loriga inspired by the book 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 Fight Club when writing Tokio doesn't love us anymore? Let's find out. Uh, there's no known evidence or credible statement indicating that Ray Loriga was inspired by Fight Club when writing Tokyo doesn't love us anymore. All available interviews, published notes, and literary analysis of the book on Loriga's interests in themes like the erasure of memory, loss of identity, pharmaceutical escapism, and the dystopian view of consumer culture. Loriga has spoken about a broad literary inspirations like Kerouac, Bukowski, Sartre, Calderón de la Barca, and Kafka, but has not mentioned Chuck Palahniuk or Fight Club. Stylistically or thematically, Tokio, blah, blah, may loosely overlap with Fight Club, both critique consumerism. Well, hold on, bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. I ask because as I am reading through Tokyo Doesn't Love Us Anymore, I am getting the sense that the narrator is unreliable and dreams out scenes while he is asleep, much in the same way that the unreliable narrator, narrator in Fight Club does. Unreliable narrator caught in a state of mental fragmentation, often hallucinating or dreaming scenes without clear boundaries between inner and outer reality. Um, while there's no direct evidence of Loriga was influenced by Fight Club, the similarity you're sensing is absolutely valid and fits within a larger tradition of postmodern fiction. Both novels deploy unreliable first-person narration, mental deterioration or identity diffusion, a deep distrust of modern society, and dreamlike or surreal sequences. All right, I'll look further into this on my own time, but according to chat, there's no reason to believe that Loriga was influenced by Chuck Palahniuk, which I still find hard to believe, but maybe they just come from the same literary school of thought. I mean, you know? All right. Me despierto pensando en una chaqueta, no soñando con ella, sino pensando en ella. Una chaqueta azul de lana colgada de una percha dorada en una cabaña de madera y en la percha de al lado una corbata a rombos rojos, amarillos y verdes, rombos muy pequeños y unas de esas gomas con garfillos que se utilizan para sujetar trastos en la vaca del coche. No creo que sean mi chaqueta ni mi corbata. A lo mejor es solo una fotografía. Nunca he tenido una corbata. Al menos no puedo imaginarme con una. And yes, I don't understand what I read, so I'm going to read that bitch again. Me despierto pensando en una chaqueta, a jacket. Yep. No soñando con ella, sino pensando en ella. Una chaqueta azul de lana colgada de una percha dorada en una cabaña de madera y en la percha de al lado una corbata a rombos rojos. Colgada una percha dorada. What does that mean? A golden hanger. En una cabaña, a hut, de madera, wood, y en la percha del al lado una corbata a rombos rojos. The hanger next to it a tie with red diamonds. Amarillos y verdes. Rombos. Sorry, what's that word again? Uh, Rhombuses. Oh, yeah, dude, this is a... Okay. Rombos muy pequeños y unas de esas gomas, rubbers, gomas con garfios que se utilizan para sujetar tarsos en la boca del coche. No creo que sea mi chaqueta ni mi corbata. A lo mejor es solo una fotografía. Nunca he tenido una corbata. Al menos no puedo imaginarme con una. All right, I feel like I understood the bits, but the overall message of this paragraph is lost on me. I wake up thinking about a jacket, not dreaming about it, but thinking about it. A blue wool jacket hanging from a golden hanger in a wooden cabin, and on the hanger next to it, a tie with red, yellow, and green diamonds, very small diamonds, and one of those rubber bands with hooks that are used to hold junk on the roof rack of the car. I don't think it's my jacket or my tie. Maybe it's just a photograph. I've never had a tie. At least I can't imagine one. Interesting. Yeah, dude, this guy's losing it. Son las cuatro de la mañana. Pobre Otto, menudos zapatos. Tiny shoes. Oh, menudos zapatos, wet shoes. Um, 1 second. Is that really what that means? Is that what menudos means? Menudos zapatos. Giblets. Small, slight, insignificant, meticulous. Menudos zapatos. Often shoes, little shoes, tiny shoes. Tiny shoes. Small. When used as an adjective. Yeah, so that's what we're doing here. Small, slight, insignificant, meticulous, emphasis. Oh, emphasis. Yeah, so like the translation, what shoes? That makes sense. Menudos zapatos. Menudo is a Mexican soup, which is delicious. But here, we're not talking about food. We're talking about an article of clothing. So, and also it's a callback to what he said about like he should try to forget those shoes before he tries to forget anything else in his life. Poor Otto. What shoes? Yeah, I think it's more like what shoes, not tiny shoes. It's what shoes. Let's see what our translator here says. But what shoes, I think, is what's being said here. Yeah, what shoes. That makes sense to me. I'm with it. Okay, so when we pick up next time, we'll be picking it up from here. All right, folks, for those of you who are listening, which is me, myself, and I, thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.